All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. So, got a quick lesson, pretty much just going into, an interesting topic, which is explaining how Esau, according to the Bible, is going to be destroyed after 1,000 years in slavery, and showing you that in the Bible, and Esau being these so-called white people going in slavery, right, to the Israelites, us so-called black people, Latino and Native American Indian people. Showing you that in the Bible that after 1,000 years of him being in slavery to us, he will be destroyed. Where that's shown at, how to prove that, and how we know that's exactly the case. So, call Lamla Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Call Lamla Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Call Lamla Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Wahara Chakodash. Alright. And I want to just jump straight into this. Now, this is 1 Corinthians 15, and because I'm going to just run through some things, you'll get the edification. But when you go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 26, it tells you right here, the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Now, when you jump up, and I'm going to show you that's talking about the so-called white man. Pretty much, when you start at let's start at verse 23. But every man in his own order, right? This is dealing with when Hamashiach come back, the Messiah, Yahushua. When he returns, it says Hamashiach, the first fruits. Afterward, they that are Hamashiachs at his coming. Meaning when he comes back, he's going to set up the order. The order is going to be given to the 144,000 governing men that was ordained from the beginning of Israel, right? To govern the world to come as rulers, right? Of that joint heresy promised to all Israel with Yahushua, but as rulers and as the governors of Israel with him, right? He's going to come back and set them up in their order, and it's going to be a hierarchy among those men. But when you read on, it says, then come at the end. Now, then come at the end. What does the end talk about? The end talks is referring to the so-called white man's in his rule, right? That's going to come to an end after Hamashiach comes back and he sets up pretty much he brings order on earth. He sets up these men to help rule with him, right? His brethren. Because he was the first one. That's why it says he's the first fruits. He was the first one given the power to be able to do this, to be able to put down all rule. He was given that rod of iron, right? It was already written that this is what was going to be the outcome. We read Psalms the 2nd chapter. He said, the Heavenly Father said, ask of me and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance in the uttermost parts of the earth. And then he gave him a rod of iron. He said he was going to break them, right? And Yahushua, he's going to give the 144,000 that same power. But he was the first one to receive all of that. So that's why it says in verse 23, he's the first fruits. But he's coming back to put every man in their order, right? Starting with him. And it says, afterward, they that are Hamashiachs at his coming. So pretty much what's going on now is we're going to go to Revelation 20. All right, where this is being taught, basically to break this down. All of that is talking about this. This is Revelation 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones and they that sat upon them. This is what John was seeing regarding the future, right? So you got the main way to best understand prophecy is to always keep in context the history. Yahushua is long crucified, gone, etc. So all of that is done already, right? We done went through all the captivities. The only captivity that we have yet to go through at the point when John is seeing all that is Rome resurrected, which is the one we're in right now. But We went through all of them. So everything he's seeing in this regard is future, is past that point. It's really is at this, what he's seeing right here is past the Roman. It's really during the Roman rule, the Roman, for lack of better words, resurrection, right? Coming back. That's what he's seeing right now. So I'm going to read it again. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, right? And judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls, and that's dealing with what? That power. Right? He told us in, what's that, Luke 21, that, let me just grab it real quick. I'm going to do this. Because I don't want to even really hit too many scriptures to keep this fairly simple. All right, when you go to Luke 21 and 28, one of my favorite ones, it says, or Salakia, Luke 22 and 28, on through. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father, because that's obviously what Yahushua is coming to obviously set up, right? Ultimately, which his men is going to help do, right? And this kingdom is for the Israelites, which these men are. 12,000 men from each tribe of the Israelite tribes, standing on the mount, representing that government. The new order, new laws getting ready to be laid down on earth, right? Now, and I appoint unto you a kingdom as my Father have appointed unto me. See, first, that's why you the first fruits, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes. See, and sit on thrones, that ye may eat and drink at the table in my kingdom. This is dealing with the disciples, the 12 first, King David, the 12, and then the rest, the 144,000 and the rest. All right. This is who he's talking ultimately to. Really, let me take that back. The 12 first, so those that follow him. And then ultimately the 144,000. But it says that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So now we know who this is, who he's seeing ultimately right here. John in Revelation 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them. Basically post that being fulfilled. The Lord Yahweh doesn't lie, and neither does Yahweh lie. He foretold us all things, as he said. This is exactly what is gonna happen, and we waiting on this. But John already seen. He seen the Lord gave him pretty much how the elder apostles like to explain it, regarding like the visions John was given was holograms. He was showing holograms. Dream, hologram, whatever, right? That's what he's seeing. He's seeing the fulfillment of that Luke 22 and 28 on through. But it says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. So this is post Yahweh. This is basically when he comes back, right? And that's when Luke 22 happens. That judgment, those thrones, and them sitting on them, happens. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image. See, that's dealing with the time now. Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads. So he's seen or in their hands. So they didn't take the skin cash. That's in the times we in now, which is right around the corner. So after we get through that process, this right after, basically. It says, and they that lived. And so basically he's seeing post the time we're in right now. That's what John's seeing. And they lived, this the point, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Because we know pretty much when Yahushua come back, anybody that died in him, he's going to resurrect, right? And he's going to resurrect because they earned the kingdom. And what's going down in the kingdom? Slavery. Hardcore bondage. That's what people have to look for. Yahushua told Pilate his kingdom wasn't of this world. Then will his servants fight? Ass gonna get beat in the kingdom. That's what that meant. So why would his servants be fighting in his kingdom? See that? Because rods of iron will be handed out. The time of breaking the nations in pieces. Right? So, I'm going to just hit these scriptures and everything I'll say, I'm going to just go through. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. I'm going to actually start at, 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh. And the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. So anybody that died, was killed, became a martyr for Yahweh Shah, they going to rise first. This is a manifold scripture, by the way. And then those that didn't have to die but were in Hamashiach dead. That's why it says this is manifold, dead spiritually. Then we which are alive remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. This is when he comes back on those ships when the nuclear missiles hitting America. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. Now, as I said once again, it says, and they lived and reigned 1,000. Let me go back. So I said, when Yahushua come, he's coming to set up the earth. I mean, he's coming to set up the kingdom. All right, I wish I would have got those when I was speaking on it, but let's get them pulled up. Let's do this. Isaiah 60. Let's also get Revelation 2. Right, and we could jump to Psalms 2 as well. See that? So boom, you can't make this up. And let's also get this real quick. John 18:36. Right? Yahushua answered. It says, my kingdom is not of this world. See, my kingdom is not of this world. And this world is the one that has to end. Going back to 1 Corinthians 15, which we're going to get back to. It says, my kingdom, he told him, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then my servants would fight. So he's basically alluding to the fact his servants are going to be fighting in his kingdom. That I should not be delivered to the Jews, but now is my kingdom not from hence. See that? Now, his kingdom comes when this world ends, which he has a responsibility that has been given to him to help ensure. And this world being Esau's world, the so-called white man, right, who's getting ready to go in slavery when Yahushua come back, right, for 1,000 years. And after that 1,000 years, he's going to be destroyed. Period. Now, boom. So now that I say that, now that we got that out the way, proving that this is Revelation 2 and 20. Let's start at 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give powers over the nation. See, to him will I give power over the nations. Same power he got. He shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. When would this be happening? Because it ain't happening now in the kingdom. That's why he said his servants gonna fight in his kingdom. Why? Because when you go to Isaiah 60 and verse, let's start at 10. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. Right, when Yahweh shall come back, we're going to be gathered. He's going to gather his elect. Right? We're going to be gathered. We're going to take over. That's what's going to happen. Let's start at 4. Lift up thy eyes round about. I'm going to start at 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light. See that? And kings to the brightness of thy rising. The kings of this world. The kings that he's coming back to take down. That's why it says he had many crowns. In order for Yahushua to get us this kingdom, ass got to get beat. Niggas got to get put in slavery. That's what happens. Right? These heathens, Esau, the so-called white man, chiefly has to get put in slavery. So that's why this is what this is talking about. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thy eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, right? And thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Why? Because Yahushua has come back. We got beamed up on the chariots from all across the globe, and predominantly from America, which got bombarded with missiles and was destroyed, while the kings who had money of these Edomites to go into those bunkers and hide went into them, right? And everybody over east will be left, because America's the only thing west, and South America and Canada, Alaska and so forth, but everybody will be left over east. Not every people, bunch of people gonna be dead over east, but life is still going to be on earth, and chiefly the kings will still be left that had power to escape. So this is how you're going to have this happening. The Gentiles coming to his light. Whose light? The light of Yahushua. It says when he come, Yahushua, he's gonna have basically his countenance is going to be like the sun. You know, light. Why is he gonna be so lit and so powerful, glowing like Goku? Because he finna whoop ass. That's what's about to happen. It says, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thy eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Why? Because the Lord will have beamed us up and got us fame. Let me just read it, because it'll be easier understood if I just hit the scriptures. Just talk less in between. This is Zephaniah 3. And I'm gonna start at the point, verse 19. It says, I'm gonna start at 18. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee. Who's the thee? The Israelites, right? It says, it tell you right here, starting at 16 through 17. You can read that yourself, but it says, that's who he's going to gather. But who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden? Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her, which is Israel, because the Lord compares Israel to a woman, a comely, delicate woman. It tells you that in the book of Jeremiah, the 6th chapter, and the 2nd or 3rd verse. But it says, save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out. Right, the Lord's coming to save his woman, right? That bride, the bride. Yahushua being the bridegroom, right? And it says, and gather her that was driven out, right? Which is just poetry for his love for his people, the nation of Israel, his sons and daughters, right? He's going to gather us collectively, as one, period. The elect from all places. It says, and I will get them through what? The ships. When Yahushua come back on those ships, that's what's going to happen. It says, and I will gather, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So this is why you're going to have, during that process, kings and Gentiles coming to Yahushua's light, and they're going to come to us, because he saved us. We're going to become famous throughout all that. It says, and people going to know who we are. They're going to finally accept it and admit it. They ain't going to have no choice. At that time will I bring you again, even the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. If we're in the captivity and we're above all people, what position are we in? We're ruling. We're back in our true estate. So that's why you have Isaiah 64 saying what it's saying. Lift up thy eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. See? We're going to be looking up, coming off those ships. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. And everybody going to be bringing their forces and wanting to help us and all that, serve us. That's in their right mind of these heathens, including these so-called white people. They're going to be the main ones. That's Revelation 2 and 9 and verses in chapter 3 and 9. He knows thy poverty, but thou art rich. He gonna make these people that say they are Jews and are not come bow down before us. Once all this play out, that's what's gonna happen. It says, then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged. It's like when you a celebrity and you overwhelmed. from all the attention we're going to be getting, it says, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. And it ain't no, you can't get to the bottom of the sea. We going to have so much given unto us, we're going to be overwhelmed. It says, the forces of the Gentiles shall come to thee, unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee, and that includes the so-called white people, these kings. It says, the dromedaries of Medan and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall shoot forth the praises of the Lord. Now, I'm going to jump to the point. Verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. Right. Slaves. That's what's going to happen. Now, because you got to ask yourself, why the hell do we need rods of iron to break these nations? The Lord going to give us power over the nations. And he said we're going to rule. 144,000 is going to get these rods of iron. Which is power. And they're going to get that power. They're going to get that authority, that say-so, that jurisdiction, that command to give out. And they're going to get rods of iron to break these people to pieces. Why? Because when we reading the answer now, Isaiah 60:10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, because we're going to put their ass in slavery. Didn't they whip our ass to build up? That's what we're going to be doing. But the main reason why, let's read on, and their kings shall minister unto thee, meaning they're going to serve us. That's what minister goes into, serve, right? Aid, help. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I had mercy on thee. See that? Because he said the meek was going to inherit the earth. The prisoners was going to be loose. See that? So he put us in a perfect situation. The Lord knew what he was doing, but this is the point. It says, therefore thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles. And that's all the riches, all the gold and silver they heaped up as dust, the raiment, the different materials. Everything they have amassed that you can, your heart, your little simple heart, just being a little worker at a post office or a damn whatever the hell, never even thought of, never even considered. That's what's about to be turned over to you. But that's going to be through Yahushua coming back and setting the 144,000 up with them rod of irons. We got to guide these people and put them in submission. That's why he said, in my kingdom, he said, if it was my kingdom, my servants will fight. Why? Because to get his kingdom, they going to have to. That's why he handed them rods of iron. That's why he coming back with a rod of iron. That's why he's going to come back with power. But it says, and that their kings may be brought. See that? They going to be brought like presents. And this the point. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Showing you basically, because why would this be written if everybody's just going to obey and be with it? They're not. So that's why you have Yahushua saying what he says in John 18:36. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then my servants will fight. Why? Because Esau going to still be proud. See that? That I shall not be delivered to the Jews, but now is my kingdom not from hence. And that also takes me to this. I think that's Isaiah 26:10. It says, in the land of the unjust, let favor be showed to the wicked. Yeah, verse 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked. Who is the wicked? Esau. These so-called white people. Let's grab that real quick. Right? This is the book of Malachi 1 and 4. Let's start at 3. And I hated Esau, right? And so-called white people. It says, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, right? Starting with the elite bankers, right? Your Queen Elizabeth, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, all these people, right? Even though Queen Elizabeth, she gone, but she'll be back. But that's a whole nother thing. It says, and his heritage was waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And all these fake Jews. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, right? They shall build, right? Whoever you could think of, Joe Biden, Trump, the Clintons, whoever. Anybody that could make it, but all of them. He hates all of them, right? But more so concerned with those that's going to make it. But it says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So these are the wicked that the Bible talk about, the Edomites, these so-called white people, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Right? And the Lord give us the reason why. Well, that's it. All right, just to keep that simple. Now, going back to the point of where I was just at, Isaiah 26:10, let favor be shewed to the wicked, meaning the so-called white people, yet he will not learn righteousness. See that? In the land of uprightness, see that? Where is that? That's the kingdom. Will he deal unjustly? See that? So they going to still be proud. They going to still be on some wicked stuff. It says, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. They not going to bow down. See that? They going to still be proud. They have a perpetual hatred. They can never not hate us. It was embedded in them. Right? It was embedded in these people. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Right? Lord, he put that within them. It's impossible. This is Genesis 25 and 22, and the children struggled together within her. This is dealing with the birth of Jacob and Esau, who had his name changed to Israel, right? So the birth of the inception of the so-called black, Latino, Native American, Indian, and white race, right? So-called. It says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one shall be stronger. See, they're going to be separated. That's the whole point. Then the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now notice, and the 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. That's the Lord said. He never said they was going to come back together. They're going to stay separate. They're never going to be able to come together. Right? Let's read this in the NLT. And the Lord told her, right, in that same verse 23, and the Lord told her, Yahweh told her, the sons in your womb, see Esau and Jacob, will become 2 nations. From the very beginning, the 2 nations will be rivals. See that? One will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son. See that? So that just tie the whole point home, right? Or help get the point further to it. You know? Yeah, severed, out of joint. You know, that they never be able to come together. Broke. You know, when you go into this word, as you see on the screen, word being parad. All right. So yeah. Now, getting back to it, because I don't want to make this too long. So let favor, Isaiah 26:10, let favor be shewed to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. He gonna be like, man, he's basically, I steal niggas. You know what I'm saying? See that? They're not gonna bow down. That's why it's already written right here. Verse 12, Isaiah 60. For the nation, in the 60th chapter, for the nation and kingdom, that's gonna be who? That's a race of people. And kingdom, right, that will not serve thee, right, a once ruling power. Because obviously once ours being set up, you're not ruling no more. But you may have once been ruling. So that's the kingdom. That's a kingdom. It says for the nation and kingdom, you know, so-called dynasty. You know, people that once had authority. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. It's going to be someone to do this. Who you think it's going to be? We just read it. So-called white people. It says, yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. They're going to be utterly wasted. So now you should understand why the Lord said if his kingdom was of this world, then will his servants fight. Why? Because we're going to beat people. We're going to have to break. We're going to destroy them niggas, man. We're going to have to beat people into submission. That makes it all the while. This is how we gonna finally get ours. They're gonna still be proud, and we gonna actually have power. Can you imagine that? You know? How proud can you be? See? So, going ahead and running all this back, because I pretty much got to all of that. So, when you go back to Revelation 20:4, and I saw the thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or on their heads, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Right, when he come back, he beam up whoever died and whoever remained. All those that were physically dead and spiritually dead, or just spiritually dead, in Yahushua and Hamashiach. That's who's gonna rise. See that? And they're gonna reign with Yahushua for 1,000 years. Now, this is where you understand. This is where the Bible is talking about them serving us for 1,000 years, because what's being said right here is let me read on. It says, "But the rest of the dead lived not until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power." Right. So pretty much, this is dealing with the setting up of the kingdom. So if you have part in the first resurrection, which I'll do a lesson on that, you basically don't meet the second death, as this says. The second death is pretty much, if you die, right, it's the nuclear catastrophe, right? But you're going to have people that's going to be, they're gonna have to be brought back, no matter if they were dead already when your house shall come, because all eyes got to see him, right? And they're going to die again. They're going to hit it. They're going to eat a nuke. And it tells you that right here in John 5:29. It says, and I'm going to start at 28. "Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice." See that? "And they shall come forth, they that have done good, unto the resurrection of life." See, of life to rule. See that? "And they to get their order. And they that have done evil," right? No matter if they die in the Lord, die for the Lord, or passed on natural causes or whatever, right? But they was in the truth, right? "And they that have done evil," right? Those that fell out, died, got killed, or never knew the truth, or came into the truth and they died. They gonna come out the grave. It says, "Unto the resurrection of damnation." That's the second death. What do you think gonna happen if you're not getting beamed up because you wasn't in the Lord, or you forsook the Lord, but yet you died, were dead before he got here, and you be resurrected just so you can see him? What is he gonna do if he's not beaming you up? He gonna leave you to meet that demise in the second death. That's what's gonna happen, right? So my point is, when it says blessed and holy is he in Revelation 20:6 that has part in the first resurrection, meaning you didn't have to know the Lord and get the kingdom after death by pain, as it tells us in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. You know, you walk the straight gate, because all Israel got to get the promises of the Lord to be alive, but you got some that got to get it the hard way. That's the ones that's going to go through that second death, you know. But those that don't, you know, and they just beam straight up, right? Even if they die being a martyr, they're going to get the first resurrection, right? But it says they shall be priests, but they shall be priests of the Most High, and of the Father, and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Now, that's not saying they only going to reign 1,000 years, because it tells us, first of all, Yahushua don't die. So he not going to die after 1,000 years. They not going to die, because we're going to be changed to his image. It's not saying that. And then it's not saying the kingdom, we're going to lose our power after 1,000 years. It's not saying that either. It's not saying that. Now, to just prove that, it says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever. And ever. See that? So that's it. And then to be more specific, it says, verse 27, and it says, and the kingdom, and the kingdom, yeah, it's a good one. I'm going to come back here. It says, and the kingdom, and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. And this is all off the head. This is off the Spirit, through the Spirit. There's nothing lined up per se. It says, whose kingdom is everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. So the kingdom not going to ever end. Right? And we're never going to lose control of the power, nor are we going to die. We're going to live forever and ever and ever. So this is not saying that. What this is saying is it's going to take us 1,000 years to set up our kingdom. That's what's going on. We're going to be beating these nations into submission and whatnot. And then when you jump back to verse 5, it says, but the rest of the dead live not until the 1,000 years were finished. So pretty much, what do I want to do? When you go into this word, let's do this. All right, let's go back here. 1 Corinthians 15. When you go back to 1 Corinthians 15, right? Boom. 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 And then, like I said, I want to go back to that and that Daniel. That was key. So I just want to get that queued up. Get that Daniel. I'm going to swap that out. Yep. And we're going to put that right there. All right. So pretty much it's going to take 1,000 years to set the kingdom up. Right, so these nations are going to be, and who's going to be helping do that? Well, these nations. That's why we're getting a rise of iron and getting power over them. They going to build up our walls. They're going to take 1,000 years to do it. You know what I'm saying? Period. It's going to take 1,000 years. You know, because the Lord's coming to bring righteousness to the earth. So it's not even just really setting up the kingdom. It's more so getting the whole earth back on track. That's what this is. That's what this is going into. You know, they're gonna be building up the walls and all of that, and then you know, they're gonna be serving us. All right. So we'll hold that now. It says, and they reign with the Lord 1,000 years, right? So what I want to do is get that word reign. All right? When you get the word reign, because we basically we at the point now. It's going to show you that this is telling you that it's going to take us 1,000 years to get everything in order, get our kingdom, and beat these nations into subjection. And then obviously, getting to the point of this, Esau being eradicated, but we'll get there. It says, so when you get that word reign, it says to exercise the highest influence, control, right, of the governor or province, to exercise kingly power to reign. All right. Now, another thing that's key to understand, because he says in the book of Revelation 2:26, right, which is how this is going to happen. Because he said, obviously, because he said, and he that overcometh and keeping my works to the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So you're going to need power. He's gonna have to, because he got authority, right? That's what that word is going into when you read it in the NLT. To all who are victorious, meaning overcome, who obey me to the very end. In the NLT, to them will I give power. I will give authority over the nations, right? So you going the 144,000, right? Starting with exousia, they're going to be given the authority, right? And what's that authority? That authority is dealing with, it says, the liberty of doing as one pleases, being able to tell these nations what you want them to do, etc. But it's not going to be according to what you want to do. It's going to be, when you read number 4 right here, it says the power of rule or government. See that? The power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. So you're going to be giving these people the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashmi Shah. It said Yahweh Shah is going to reign in righteousness, and he's going to pass that same thing over to us, right? It says authority over mankind, the power of judicial decisions, of authority to manage domestic affairs. So we literally going to be setting the world, the earth, we're going to be setting these people in order to how the homes are to be ran, how they are to run these cities, what they can and can't do. They're going to be taught, because we're not going to have to teach each other no more. See that? And we know that the word of the Lord endures forever, so it's not going to go away. So we're going to be managing these people's domestic affairs, these heathens, including these so-called white people chiefly, right? So while they building up our kingdom, we're going to be putting the earth and all these people back in their places, back in their right order, and all of that. And we're going to be telling them they're going to learn Yahweh Ba'ashmi Shah. They're going to learn Yahweh Ba'ashmi Shah. That's that power that Yahweh has given to Yahweh Shah, who's going to give it to us. And we're going to execute that command. And they are to execute our command. See? That's it. So we're going to be delegating. It's going to take us 1,000 years to get everything in order, man. To set up our government. The power or rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. We're going to be setting up the new food, what isn't to be eaten. We're going to be taking down all these statues, these goddamn heathens. They're going to be cleaning up the earth. They're going to be doing all of that, right? Matter of fact, okay, just making sure I ain't had nothing else that I was holding before I change this tab. And I don't want to pull it. And then it's university, authority over mankind. So it's going to take us 1,000 years to lay down that authority. You know what I'm saying? To get everything in order. Right? Period. And the first fruits of these goddamn so-called white people that's going to go into slavery once again are those that are going to be able to survive. You know? Which chiefly going to be the kings. Because we going to get the kings. How? Because they're going to be able to survive. And they're going to be brought in chains. And we're going to beat them into submission. And they're going to be building up the kingdom. All of that. You know? So let's just get to it, right? This is Psalms 149, right? And because remember, this is who the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashmi Shah is gunning for. He is gunning for these kings. When you go to Psalms 110 and verse 1, the Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord Yahweh Shah, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Right? Who is our enemies? Those that bought and sold us. He's an Israelite. The Israelites said to be bought and sold by the enemies. Well, who bought and sold us, the Israelites, his people, or so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, are these white people, so-called the Edomites, who are the biblical Edomites, right? Which was orchestrated by these fake Jews, right? All of, the slave markets and stuff, they were, being administrated by the fake Jews, the Jacob Kohens and Israel Kaifers and all these fake Jews, the synagogue of Satan, these Amalekites, right? Those who are just so-called white people, those are our enemies. Those are the ones that was buying and selling us and administrating the buying and selling of us, right? So it says, the Lord said unto my Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord, the Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord Yahweh, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Yahweh shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. Look at that rod of strength. That's why he the first fruits. He was the first one to give it. Why? Because he going to have to beat these people into being his footstool, making them bow down. See? Footstool. I will make them that are the synagogue of Satan come before thy feet. They're going to bow down and worship. I butchered that horribly. So let me just read it. You know, Revelation 2:9. It says, I'm going to actually get it. It says, I know thou work in thy tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. The Lord told, he had this told to him first. And I know the blasphemy of them would say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So Yahweh Shai, he's even been subject to this. He telling us what the Lord told him. What applied, he didn't, everything he want us to do and want us to know, he done and knows and believes in, right? So Revelation 3:9, this is what he further said on the note on this matter, right? Behold, I will make the synagogue of the synagogue of Satan, these fake Jews that were selling us and proving themselves who are these so-called white people today, and proving themselves to be our enemies, according to the Bible, truth, right? Which is the truth, the word. It says, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know, see that, and to know that I have loved thee. Like what? Like that footstool. So they're gonna come. These are the ones that's gonna do it. This is who these enemies are. These fake Jews. These so-called white people. Yahweh watching them, man. That's the main one he got his eye on. That's who he hates. And chiefly who? The top of them. The one that was administrating this. The kings. So it says, the Lord shall send thy rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power and the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning thou hast to do of thy youth. And that's even manifold in a sense, because that's going to apply in the kingdom. Once our reign set up, that's when the dead going to live again. People not going to be able to, because when you go into that word live again, what that's telling you, because I'm just going to get everything as it's coming through the spirit, right? Verse 5, Revelation 20:5, the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. So is that saying no one's going to come back? Right? When you read the word dead, that's talking about the dead. But what it's saying is, when you go into the word live, it says to be restored to a correct life of one who returns to a better moral state. So are people not going to be able to return to that perfect earth, that perfect world, until the 1,000 years it's going to take for that to happen? It's completed. It's fulfilled. See that? Which is us setting up righteousness. Yahweh should start on Yahweh Shah, him setting up righteousness. Everything will be perfect. It is going to take 1,000 years to take down everything and get everything right and everybody in order. We're going to do it. We're going to have 1,000 years with these devils, these crackers. It says to revive, regain strength and vigor. And then when you read on, it says what? It says, it goes on talking about the history. Where is that? It says to restore one's history. I forget where I was reading that at. Right, to the correct state. Right, basically, like we really were ruling before. We was just brought low. We really are the sovereign people, the sovereign nation. You know, the excellent ordered people. We really are those people. So I'll have to get that, you know, through the spirit and I'll come back. So that's what that's saying. So our people, the dead, they won't be able to. We won't really be able to. Everything won't be perfect for us, right? Until this 1,000 years is completed. All right. And then they're not gonna taste of anything that we're gonna taste of, which is the first fruits, until the 1,000 years is over on a manifold level, right? Now, going back to Psalms 110, because I was saying the Lord, He's gunning for these kings. This is Psalms 110 and verse 5. It says, "The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries." That's who He's coming back gunning for. Now, what was I reading before I came here? I think I was on this tab. Yeah, Psalms 149 and verse, for 1. Praise ye Yahweh, sing unto Yahweh a new song, and His praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel be rejoice in Him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their King. Let them praise Him, praise His name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto Him with the timbrel and harp. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in His people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. See? Imagine our beds in the kingdom. Why? Because we got beds we're going to have a rest to where we're going to be able to rest and orchestrate whatever we want. You know how you plan your day on your bed, all of that. Right? So these beds is our true beds. Because remember, we don't got a bed right now. Arise and depart, for this is not your rest. So these beds is talking about in the kingdom. So let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. These beds is going to be brought by the King in which we are to be joyful in. Yahweh Shai is going to be through Him. It all ends and starts with Him. All this ends, all the chaos, the turmoil, the agony, the lies, the delusions our people are under, ends, and the life we want and all of this good stuff and the slavery that they about to be put in and our perpetual rule and us living forever begins with Him. He's the beginning and the ending, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. It all starts and begins with Yahweh Shai. That's the point. That's why He had to die on the cross. But anyway, so let the saints be joyful in glory. Back in verse 5, let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. To execute, is that now? That will be future tense. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. This is how we're going to start our days. It says to bind their kings, we kings, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all His saints. Praise ye Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. See that? That's what we're going to be executing. That's the power that Yahweh Shai, He had to give to us to be over these nations. He's given us that power to where we could successfully rule, have the kingdom. He's given us the command what to do with a rod of iron. Oh, I think that's what it was. So that's these elites. That's these elites. They're going to be brought and we're going to bound them up and put them in slavery. Right? And they're going to buck up. And we're going to do that for 1,000 years. That's going to be a 1,000-year period. This is what this is talking about. So this is the 1,000 years of us reigning. Meaning what? Putting down the rule. Laying down the law. Beating these people to pieces. Putting everybody on the planet Earth in order. Making every knee bow to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. These people at our women mercy. Right? That's going to take 1,000. That's going to be a 1,000-year period. That is going to be a 1,000-year period. It's a particular one I'm trying to get. You know? So that's what this is going into. Let me see. What was it? You know? So, I'm going to grab this word priest. When you go into the word priest, it pretty much is one that's going to be busy in sacred rites. Right? Because it says in Revelation 20:6, it says, blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power. Right? We're going to be able to experience the setting up the kingdom and all of that. The first fruits of finally us ruling. It's like, you want to experience that as soon as it starts. So you blessed and holy. You was chosen. You was set apart. You didn't have to die to get the kingdom. Right? Horrifically. Twice. Like the young dude just said that. You got to die twice to live once. That's the spirit. It says, but they shall be priests of Yahweh by Yahweh and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Right? Those that make it straight out the gate. Right? Now, when you get that word priest says what? It says, a priest, one who offers sacrifices and in general busied with sacred rites. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making the earth sacred. We're going to be teaching these people. Right? We're going to be setting up. Man. We're going to have like altars and stuff. Incense. The earth going to smell good. We're going to make them. Put this here. Put this smell here. Right? Cultivate in the land. People not going to be wearing mixed fabrics. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be, it's going to be powerful. It's going to be 1,000 years getting this something that you can't even imagine according to the scriptures pretty much manifested. And the Lord going to literally allow us to do it. Right? This is all going to happen on earth. The Lord told us. He said we're going to rule. We're going to rule on earth. You know? We're going to put the woman in order. All of this. Right? When you go back to that word power, it says the veil with which also the propriety required a woman to cover herself. See? A woman to cover herself. So that's even spiritual. We're going to be like passing out. We're going to be setting up everything, man. The agriculture, the resources, what nations get what, how much we get first. Because they're going to be responsible for getting their land cultivated according to the law, statutes, and commandments. And they're going to be under tribute. So they're going to be sending us the best of everything, the first fruits of everything. While they build your palace, your 10 cities, all of that. These crackers. They go hand it all over. They preparing it for the just. It's going to take 1,000 years for everybody that gets saved to get theirs and get everything set up and to teach these nations simultaneously. That's what's going on. I forget the word I was reading. It pretty much explains this fairly simple, right? But yeah, they're gonna be, we gonna go get them when Yahushua come back, right? Out of these goddamn bunkers, these kings, because that's who the Lord is once again aiming for, This is a bunch of scriptures you can get, but it's just trying to get you to understand the point. This is Revelation, it's like Amos 9, and I'm gonna start at 1. I saw the Lord stand upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the post may shake. Right. And it says, now I'm gonna just read through. It says, and cut them in the head, all of them. So all of these people heads, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away. That's dealing with their leaders, their kings, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. So they're gonna escape, but they're not gonna be delivered. Capital of a pillar. So when you go into that word lintel, it's a pillar, right? And you go into the word pillar, a tall vertical structure of stone, right, wood, metal, used as a support for a building. See that? So these is the people that everybody depend on. So that's why the Lord said what? And Amos 9:1, he said what? Smite. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, right, which dealt with sacrifice, and he said, smite the lintel of the door. That word lintel goes into the pillar, what supports the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away. So all these people that these crackers depend on, they leaders, they kings, these fake Jews, these elite bankers. This is talking about them. This is concerning them. That's who he has his eye on, of these so-called white people. It says, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig it to hell, right, that's dealing with the bunkers. When would they be doing that? Right now, for decades now. For what? To hide from the Lamb when Yahweh shall come to save the elect from the nuclear missiles that's got to hit America. It's going to be shot across the globe, right? And pretty much, while he comes to also ensure this place get further burnt, he ensures this place get burnt up with the fire he's gonna bring through the chariots, right? So they're gonna be hiding from all of that nuclear destruction and catastrophe and the UFOs blasting people and not UFOs, the chariots, the vehicles of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah. They're going to be hiding in those bunkers. But so though they dig it to hell, verse 2, then shall my hand take them. That's Yahweh Shah, the king. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Right? So they're going to be taken. See that? And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence, and that's it. And they're going to go into slavery. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. So there it is. And I don't want to speak on that. Yeah, so that don't count. Don't mind for verse 4. So start in that verse 3. So they doing all this hiding, but we gonna grab them, man. Yahweh Shah is he gonna get these people. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be brought to the king of terrors, as it says in Job. There's so many scriptures you can get, and they gonna go into slavery. And their king's going to be binded, like it says in Psalms 149, in chains. And they're going to be brought, as it says in Isaiah 60, and they're going to minister unto us. And they're going to be the first fruits of these damn devils in slavery, man. And they're going to be bucking up. And they're going to be in slavery. We're going to have their ass still populating for 1,000 years because they got to build up, man. They gotta receive double. And it's going to be very bad for them, right? And they're going to be responsible for cleaning up the earth. You know what I'm saying? This is Ezekiel 39 and verse 1. I can really get all that. Let's start at 21. It says, and I will set my glory among the heathen, the so-called white people, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed in my hand that I have laid upon them. See that? Yahweh Shah, he going to come put everybody, all of them in submission. And he going to give us the power to do it. With the same power he's been given, and the rod of iron as well. He's going to give us, it's like the one he's been given. So the house of Israel shall, and we're going to beat them into submission. And that's going to start the kingdom. The 1,000-year reign. Whoever the elect are, man, that's how it's going to go. And it's going to be executed, and law going to be laid down, that reign, that power. It's going to be laid down through the 100, starting with the 144,000. With the 144,000. By Yahushua and the 144,000. So the house of Israel shall know that I am Yahweh, their God from that day forward, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me, therefore hid my face from them, right, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword, according to their uncleanness and according to their transgression have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. They're gonna learn all that. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob and have mercy on the whole house of Israel. Will be jealous from our holy name. And it says, after that they have borne their shame, all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. When I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' land, and I am sanctified in the sight of in them in the sight of many nations. See that? That's what's gonna happen when we get that power. We come down off those ships. We gonna reign for 1,000 years according to Revelation 21. We gonna come down off the ships, and it's gonna be ugly, man. It says, then shall they know that I am the Lord their God, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen, but I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more. Neither will I hide my face from them any more neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord God. That's it. Let's just hit this real quick then. So they all gonna be brought, and it's gonna that's just how it's gonna go down. All right. This is dealing with the setting up pretty much of the process of the 1,000-year reign, which is going to consist of these things that I'm going into. So it's going to start basically from this point where Yahushua comes through the missiles, as going back to 1 Corinthians 15 says, 23 says, but every man in his own order, Hamashiach the first fruits, afterward they that are Hamashiachs at his coming, then cometh the end. See that? That's when all this is going to start. When Yahushua come back, beam the elect up, and at that point you're going to see this. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first earth and heaven were passed away, and there were no more sea. And I saw John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, dealing with the elect, right? The 144,000. It says coming down from the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua out of heaven, right, off the ships. You know what I'm saying? Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. After the like the Lord said, into your chambers until for a little moment or a little while till my indignation be passed over. That's dealing with the missiles hitting America, and that's them chambers going into the ships, which is where the elect are going to enter into, which is why they're going to be beamed up. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be beamed up when those bells break out, which is through Yahweh Shah and Micah Allah and all the angels coming back. And next time, everybody going to see them go up. See so-called Black, Latino, Native American, Indian go up. Start with these so-called white people that's in power, that's invested all these money. This feeds fake Jews to keep us asleep, keep this information from us. And it's still going to play out on them. And next time they see them, everybody in America going to die except them. But whoever escaped and remain over east, they going to see them. Next time they see them come back down, whoever they may be, they going to be what? It says, coming down from God out of heaven off those ships, prepared as a bride adorned from her husband, right, in a new body. That's what adorn means, with a new mind. She's completely equipped, dressed to impress. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, adorned. Lord's gonna deck us out with new bodies and minds and that new spirit. And Lord gonna be on our inward part at that point. See that? We're gonna be in order. We're gonna be embellished with honor. We're gonna be made ready to what? To reign. See that? Reign with Yahweh Shah. That's that. It's just that simple. All right. And then what happens? That's when 1,000-year reign starts. When the nations go into slavery, these so-called white people go into slavery for 1,000 years. You know, cool so-called Chinese, Latino, Slakia, Chinese, African, Japanese onward, man. You know what I'm saying? All these heathen nations. All right, Revelation 20 and 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given. And I saw the thrones of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh Bash Yahushua. It says, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark in their foreheads. Yeah, the heads being the so-called white man, that skin cash system. You know, they tried to enforce upon the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You're gonna have some that don't take it. That was obviously of the elect. You know, that was in Yahweh Bash Yahushua. It says, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. See that? And that reign, once again, is putting everybody in order, beating these nations into submission, teaching these people order. That's what that's going into. Hence, setting up the kingdom, having them set up our kingdom. You know, period. Teaching them laws, all of that. That's when that starts. All right. Zechariah 14 and 9. And the Lord Yahweh shall be king over all the earth, and that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. We're going to teach everybody that. Right? Now you jump to the point. This is This is verse 14. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem. See that? Fight. And the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents as this plague. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King Yahweh. See that? Of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles. And it shall be that and it's going to be through us teaching them. See that? Going to Isaiah 2. So that's what this 1,000-year period is going to consist of. See, God's universal reign, which takes you literally back to exactly what that word power goes into. It's the same word, power. Exousia, right? For Revelation 2 and 26, right? But it says what? Universally. See that? That influence, that authority, that jurisdiction. All right, force. The power of authority, influence, and right of privilege. The power or rule of government. The power of him whose rule and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. Authority over mankind. See that? A thing subject to authority or rule. Thus showing you once again it's going to be slaves. You know? Period. So once again, Isaiah 2 and 1 is titled what? God's universal reign, which is what goes on, which is what that reign deals with. It's us having these nations in slavery for 1,000 years, man. The so-called white people. And we teaching them. But you can't teach Edomites, which takes me to the end point. They're going to be eradicated after it's over with. Because once the 1,000 years is over with, that means we got everything in order. And what does that mean? How can it be order if somebody that can't be in order is still around? See? Isaiah 2 and 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, right, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, right, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, to the house of God, to the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai from Jerusalem. See that? We gonna teach them, right? And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall, that's that power in those rods of iron. And they shall, through being displayed and exhibited by Yahushua and the 144,000. And they shall beat their, and you're going to have, their sisters and brothers and their little babies and stuff around. And they're going to be over these nations. They're going to have power. They're going to be immortal. But the government being set up and being laid down, the law being laid down, is going to be done by these that's been commissioned to do so, the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe of Israel. It says, Yasha'Allah, it says, and they shall, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords and plowshares, right, and their spears into pruning hooks. So all the stuff they had as weapons and whatnot, the Lord ain't gonna learn war no more. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Neither shall they learn war anymore. Ain't gonna be no more of that. And if you ain't with the program, well, that's why we got rods of iron. That's why we gonna be beating their ass into submission and teaching them. For it's gonna take 1,000 years to do this, to get order across the globe. People still gonna go off because we gonna be the only ones to be perfect. But as far as like people thinking like America coming back, it's gonna be 1,000-year period. Like, nah, bro, that's over with. Beating the American out of people. You know what I'm saying? It says Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land. See? And that's dealing with those that led us into captivity, being these so-called white people. Right? And we have to it's going to take 1,000 years to beat the American out of people because of the so-called white people. It says, so-called white man, Esau. It says, Revelation 13:10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So that's why it says in Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. Right? And that's the saints. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. See that? And they shall rule over their oppressors. So we about to take these so-called white people and put them in slavery. This is going to be done, instituted. This is going to be done once we come off those ships. Started once we come off those ships, those new bodies, and we're going to have them for 1,000 years. These so-called white people, that is, right? Man, having them build up our cities, and we're gonna be appointing them to do this, do that. We're gonna be delegating the earth, getting everybody in order, and they just still not gonna do right. See, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? Right, the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quieted, they that break forth into singing. This is going to happen. Basically, this is saying they're gone now, because the earth can't be in rest with the wicked still being here. Remember, let righteousness be showed, favor be showed unto the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. And in the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. See, Isaiah 60:26-10. Let favor be shewed to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. See, will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. See? So, after 1,000 years, throughout the 1,000 years, us whooping their ass, trying to teach them, it's not going to work. See that? And basically, that takes you back to the point. So everybody else going to be getting the order except him. That takes you back to 1 Corinthians 15:23. But every man in his own order, Hamashiach the first fruits, afterward they that are Hamashiach at his coming, then cometh then that's dealing with when Yahushua come back once again and the reign being instituted, being activated. See that? For 1,000 years, getting the order, us getting righteousness put on the earth for 1,000 years, right? The process of that, getting all the crap out, taking all the buildings down, getting all the goddamn bodies picked up, which is gonna be by these elites, you know, since they didn't hate blood. Blood is gonna pursue them, right? Ezekiel 39, and let's start at verse 13. Yeah, all the people of the land shall bury them. Let's start at 12. And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Right? It says, yeah, all the people because all the death that was brought, you know, as Lord says, people going to be cast out like dung. And the slain of the Lord going to be from one end of the earth to the other. So, yeah, you're going to have everybody in America dead, but you're going to have a bunch of dead bodies back over east. It says, yeah, all the people of the land shall bury them. See that? And it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified. See? And that's when this is going to take place. People are going to be getting buried then, saith the Lord God. And they going to be used as fertilizer to replenish the earth. It says, and they shall sever out men, who's the day? Us, of continued employment. And they shall sever out men of continued employment, passing through what? Through the day when Yahweh get his glory. Through Yahweh when he come back and he get his glory in us. It says passing through the land to bury. See, passing through, and they shall sever out men of continued employment. Who's these men gonna be? These so-called white men, so-called white women. All of them that's left, the kings, these elites, and they shall sever out men of continued employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. So there it is. All right. So that's what they gonna be doing. You know, everything is going to be getting put in order through this reign. Now, everybody going to get in order except this devil throughout the 1,000 years pretty much. To the best, you know, for the most part. People still going to be going off, but this devil is not going to do right. So, throughout the 1,000 years and at the end of it, what is at the end of it telling us? It's telling us at the end, because it's going to end. And that means what? Let's just prove that. It says, verse 5, Revelation 20:5. But the rest of the dead, right, the rest of Jake, live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. So we're going to enjoy it, but everything ain't going to be complete until the process of getting everything right and back in order is done. See, this is the first resurrection. See that? So, finished. I think that's the word through the Spirit. that I was looking for. Yep, that's it. Call I'm like how Bashmal Shah. When you go into the word finish, it says to bring to a close. What, the 1,000-year period? To perform, execute, complete, fulfill. That's the point. So that the thing done corresponds to what has been said, which is what? The order, the command. See? Put these people under subjection. Put them under your footstool. Make them bow to Yahweh Bashmal Shah. He said he can't wait. He said my kingdom, my servants gonna fight, because he knew these crackers not gonna listen. We gonna put everybody in order. He gonna make you feel it, man. It says with special reference to the subject matter to carry out the contents of a command, with reference also to the form to do just as commanded, and generally involving the notion of time to perform the last act which completes a process, to accomplish, fulfill. Now, what is that entail? What does that mean? What is that? It says conclude. What is that last act? Well, it tells us. It says, but every man in his own order, the first fruits, 1 Corinthians 23 and 24, 15 and 23. Afterward, they that Hamashiach has come, and then cometh the end, when he shall deliver up the kingdom to God. Even meaning once the process is done and the kingdom here now, then Esau gone, then cometh the end, right? When he shall deliver up the kingdom to God, and even to the Father. It's like even the Father when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. Put down, like when they say you got to put down a dog, like you kill him. And Esau's been compared to a dog, which when you go to Proverbs, it's like it's Psalms 20, right? Salakia. Psalms 20. That might be 17. It's either 22 or 17. Yep, 22 and 16. It says, for dogs have, Psalms 22 and 16, for dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked. See that? Edomites, they the dogs, have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. Yahweh Shah, they was the dogs. See that? See? So now you should get what this is saying. Once again, then cometh the end, 1 Corinthians 15 and 24. When he shall deliver up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall have put down, like a dog, the dogs, put to death all rule and all authority and power. That's when the kingdom is set up. At what point? Once the 1,000 years was finished. That's which this goes on to say. And then finish goes into what? The last act of the process. And it says, verse 15, for he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. See, the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. And that's because this is it meaning. So wait. So we gonna get immortality after the 1,000 years? Wouldn't we need wouldn't we need an immortality to complete this 1,000-year process? If this the last step of the process, if this is the last step of a 1,000-year process, which is the death being destroyed, that's not talking about that. That's talking about the so-called white man. This is in Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is as hell and is as death. See? He is as death. The so-called white man. So, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. You can't keep somebody like that around. He can't be rehabilitated. He can't be taught. You got to consider the work of the Most High, who can make that straight, which he had made crooked. You know? So, I think I got it. one more on that. Let's see something real quick. All right. So the last enemy, 1 Corinthians 15 and 26, that shall be destroyed is death. That's the last step of the process. That's the finishing. That's what finishes the 1,000-year reign, which is the Edomites, so-called white people, chiefly, and obviously the rest of the heathens being put in order, being put in slavery for 1,000 years. And the last step of that process, which is to rehabilitate everything in order to get our kingdom set up, get what we want, get everybody to know Yahweh Shah, get our people put back in order, get our people they respect. Yahweh Shah his respect. Yahweh Shah they respect first, then us. Then after that, the last step is getting rid of that nigga. Because to really enjoy all of that, he gotta be gone. He gotta be gone. So he gonna be made inactive to cause a person, see that, destroyed, to cause a person or a thing to have no further efficiency, to the power of force, influence, But it says what? To do away with. To be severed from. Remember, we were separated. That's what separated from Baals from the beginning. We used to be separated. See, severed. That separated meaning severed. And when you go into this last enemy that shall be destroyed, that word destroyed, the meaning right here for it is one of them is to be severed from. So to honestly completely be done and away from Esau by what? Destroying his ass, getting rid of him. To terminate all intercourse with one. Vanish away, make void. See that? Hence how you have what? Obadiah. And we'll close out Isaiah 14. Adawan Ratazah. This is Obadiah 1 and 15. It says, the day of the Lord in the future. For the day of the Lord is upon all the heathen, as Yahweh Shah is upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee, and y'all all ruled over us with rigor and taught wickedness. Right? Thy reward shall be, and put us in slavery. Thy reward shall be upon thy own head, and killed us, hurt us, shall beat us into your subjection. It says, for as ye, and now you so-called white people, ultimately, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Right? They gonna drink this word. They gonna drink of this cup. Right? They was eating off of us. Right? Not they pushing the Bible, taking the Bible in their mouth. You got having these so-called white people had nothing to do. Well, the rest of these heathens, they gonna drink continually. They're gonna learn the word continually. Y'all gonna be our slaves forever. You're gonna be in subjection to Yahweh Shah forever. Yasha Allah forever, man. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Right? This is dealing with Esau. Because we in Obadiah, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Right? Because he's just one of the heathens. But this is the difference between him and the heathens. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. It's not going to be one Edomite left on the face of the earth after this 1,000-year reign. We going to go to work, man. It's Isaiah 14 and verse 4. That thou, it says verse 3, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, Esau, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? The Lord, see, and that's, we gonna get their ass double. We gonna get these people goddamn double, man. They gonna get double of their works. You know, Babylon is falling. See that? Revelation 18 and 5. Right? It says, verse 4. I heard another, and I heard, I'm gonna start at 3. For all the nations of the have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. So they all guilty by association. It says, and they all messed up, right? And the merchants of the earth, because of this place, chiefly Esau Edom, it says, ran by Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So this is why the Lord, he has to get rid of these goddamn devils, man. That's why it says in Proverbs 25:5, right? I'm gonna start at 4. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. So you damn jakes, and our wickedness is but to take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. See that? So there it is. So the wicked gotta go in order for the kingdom to be, established. In order for everything to be right on earth. So that America gotta go first and foremost, and then these heathens, they all gotta be put in subjection. But these heathen, these crackers, these so-called white people, they gotta be put in subjection, but ultimately taken off the face of the earth. That's just how it gotta be. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, which is how he's going to take out this place, the source of Esau's power, America, right? That ye be not partakers of her sins and receive not of her plagues. The plagues he's going to send unto her, which is the arrows, the missiles, nuclear missiles, right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. When are we going to do this? In the kingdom. In the cup which she has filled to her double. What was in that cup that we've been drinking of? Slavery. Subjection. See that? So that's that. So verse 3, and it shall come to pass, back in Isaiah the 14th chapter, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. So America gonna be destroyed, and the administrator of America is gonna be destroyed, which is these elite so-called white people, the ones running it from England, Britain, Europe, whatever the hell, all over there. These crackers, they gonna cease. No more America, no more Esau. Cease. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. Esau ain't got no place of repentance, right? This is how these damn devils, they getting this. This is why they're just written to be eradicated. This is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he will have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance. He can't turn back to the Lord. See, so the kingdom, he can't. It's not gonna work for him. The reign, the law being laid down, it doesn't work for him. Though he sought it carefully with tears. He gotta go. See that? It's still gonna be people going off, but the wicked people like them, they're gonna be off the globe. Period. They want a genocide performed, well, they're gonna have it performed upon them. The Lord gonna give them that. So this is Isaiah 14 and 7. The whole earth is at rest. See, thus completing the process. That's when the end is over with, and it's quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down. See, like that dog, no feller has come up upon this. So there it is. So they gonna see Esau in slavery, but ultimately he gonna be destroyed, man. He gonna be destroyed from off the face of the earth. All right, completely. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this wasn't too long. It's concise. You get it. Everything's here. So Isaiah 15 and 26. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. It's that simple. Alright? And I have one more right here. Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and the dividing of time. At second Ezra, the end of Esau's world, the end of his age, the end of his kingdom. But the judgment shall sit, and they, right, because it ain't written for him to rule forever, and they was written for us to rule. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away who? Those that was written to rule. His younger brother Israel, Jacob, and they shall take away his dominion. See that? And he's made to serve. But ultimately it says to consume and to destroy it unto the end. You know? Which is him being ended completely. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints through that reign, putting them in subjection for 1,000 years, and afterwards, throughout the process, at the end of the process, he's going to be eradicated, man. How the Lord do it? It says, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. See? And that's just it. So closing out, Revelation 20 and verse 5. Blessed and holy is he that had part in the first resurrection. On such that, I'll just start at 4 and read 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, who's the so-called white man is completely against. He changed his image, everything. So why he gonna be eradicated? He gonna be put into slavery, beat. You know, he gonna have his tongue beat out of him, but he gonna perish, bro. He's out of there after 1,000 years. All of them, every last Edomite. Oh, I gotta go back. It says, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark. Let's just go ahead and go there now. That's why I was going there. Call Allah Yahweh outside. Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant. Son and nephew. Those he's gonna kill his seed line. Save Yahweh. See? So that's that. So Revelation 20 and 4. No more Edomites. And I saw the thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, for the word of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, yet his system, his crap he set up. NATO and the EU, the whole infrastructure, the new world order they tried to set up, which is right now, you know, we almost at the end of this thing. So we even closer to this. Neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And it's easier said than done. You got to really pray the Spirit be on you. Lord pick you, you know, and you can push through. You know what I'm saying? You have that faith, man. You keep your faith by all means. Because if you do, you got a crown laid up for you. And you going to manifest all of this. It says, and they live, because we manifesting all the other stuff. So why not this? Why not go through with it all the way with this? We have to. It's the only way. It's only one interest. Right? No looking back. It says, and they lived, and if you look back, you ain't fit for the kingdom. It says, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed is and holy is he that had part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Yeah, 1,000 years on the earth. And I'm closing out. I'm just trying to scoop that word that I was telling you all about. Yep, it was resurrection. So the resurrection of certain ones, history, who were restored to life. See that? the resurrection of certain ones, history, who will restore to life. See that? It's all going to happen. So anybody down Yahweh Shemiah Shai says, Hebrews 1:11-35, women receive their dead raised to life again. Your husband might die, but he going to come back, right? If he was in this truth, and you stay in the truth. And others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. Some going to sell out, you know. But the point of why I read this, and they gonna drop their crown. They gonna let Esau cause them to lose their crown, take the chips, some bullshit. But it says the resurrection of certain ones, history, whose were restored to life, thus showing you we were always the so-called black royale, the black sovereign. That's about to be brought back. You know, it was always that case. We just been put down, and we finna put these people in subjection. These so-called white people. For 1,000 years, and after that they out of there. We're gonna set our world up. It's gonna be a Israelite ran world in righteousness. Yahweh Bashmi Shah. So with that, call La Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah Wahal Rakakodash. Double honors to the Hofi elect elder apostles slated to be saved. Lord willing, start with the elder men at the Great Millstone Church, right? Whose labors we have entered into, you know, who taught me this truth, you know, the correct way. Shalom, on to the Akim that's out here under the same doctrine. Maybe out here under the same doctrine, on to the Akim here at this faction, this hopefully elect assembly, doing what they need to do in the order, right? According to the scriptures. Shalom, on to the rest of the Akim doing likewise, and to the rest of the believers in on this beautiful faith of Yahweh Bashmi Shah. All right. So with that, I'll close out here. Psalms 11:4. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and he shall. That's not even the one I want. Or pretty much to tell you that Yahweh Shah, he's gonna reign and righteous. Yeah, that's it. Jeremiah 33:15. In those days and at that time, will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David. And he shall, that's Yahweh Shah, execute judgment and righteousness in the land. That's the 1,000 years period will be that reign, man. So shalom.